And I know it's not as black and white or as binary as good, bad. But am I supposed to be sympathetic or empathetic for the Ukrainian people if they're treating my people this way? Guys, if you are seriously trying to avoid the war in Ukraine, at least on television, it's impossible. It's truly impossible. It is leading even the local news and it is laden with propaganda. And I think kids, we of our age, we may not have seen a propaganda war on this level. Now, the 2016 elections, yes, a case can be made. The propaganda was abundant, but this is everybody's propaganda. We getting the best of American propaganda, unseasoned with that European Union propaganda, further unseasoned by that NATO propaganda, and last but not least, the Russian propaganda. Of course, the Russians got some propaganda apparatus at work in this entire scenario with the invasion of Ukraine. And guys, see, this is where I always fall short. This is where I fall short, and this is why I'm watching way more Black Power media, especially when it comes to analyses of foreign interventions by Americans. Of course, there's a lot of things that we know. We know how America gets down. We know about Africa. We know about the most recent U.S. bombing in Somalia. We know that the Saudis have been bombing Yemen for fucking years, bombing Yemen with American missiles and American weapons. We know that Israel's bombing the shit out of Syria. America likes to bomb the shit out of Syria from time to time. So, but I don't see any of these conflicts leading the news. I don't see when Africans in Somalia are fighting back against imperialism led by the United States. That shit don't lead the news. No one's going, hey, look at the Somalians fighting for their homeland. Nobody says that shit. Or at least nobody on TV. Let me rephrase. Black Power Media says that shit. Nobody on cable news ever even considers to even say anything like that. But when it's white folks fighting for their homeland, then that's some shit that the rest of America can seemingly understand and relate to. But the big issue, us as Black people, and again, I can't thank Jackie Luqman and Kalanji Changa and Daruba Ben Wahad and Ajamu Baraka for their outstanding analyses on this whole entire situation, but also looking at it specifically from an African perspective, right? And when we look and see directly in the Ukraine, the way that Africans are being treated, Black folks are being treated in Ukraine, a place where there are missiles falling, tanks rolling in, and Black people trying to flee are being denied at the border, being refused entrance into some of these countries. And we're going to talk about which countries are doing it better, or I should say, or behaving in a more humanitarian way, more so than others. But this has been a harrowing and a fraught experience for these folks, these African folks living in the Ukraine, many of whom are students, international students, many of whom are trying to make contact with the embassies in their native countries or the embassies of their homelands that are there in Eastern Europe, and they're having some problems. Amazon's not replying to the WhatsApp. It's a big problem. So I want us to take a look, gang, and this is going to be several minutes. I'm not going to even hold you, but this is important, okay? Because this ain't Dawn Lemon, this ain't motherfucking Joy Reid. I'm going to give y'all 8 minutes of hearing directly from the Africans who are trying to flee the Ukraine, give you an unfiltered look at how they have been treated, the way they have been received, the racism they have been subjected to. And I want you to hear it from their voices, from their perspectives, not cut. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we on YouTube, baby. we can bring it to you live and raw for as long as we feel as though we need to. And I absolutely feel as though this is necessary. So we're about to see a myriad of clips, of which I will come back and credit the posters or the creators of those videos once this concludes. But I want you guys to please look at this. Please, please, please. Shout out to Franco. What's up, Franco? What's up, Northern Witch? Come true, come true. Everybody getting cozy. We got some space for y'all. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe real quick. But I want to take a direct look over the last several days of people who are of African descent, who come from the continent, who are in Ukraine for a variety of reasons, and who are trying to get out of Ukraine, but are being denied, forced back, and even the ones who have been allowed to cross out of the country have a very harrowing tale to tell. So let's take a look at that.
We don't have arms. 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 We are students. No arms. We are students. We don't have arms. We are students. We are Pablo, we are students. We are students. We are dying. We are dying of cold. We are all dying of cold. We are dying of cold. Everybody go down. Everybody go down. We are dying of cold. We've been here for 3 days. We died of cold. This is unfair. This is unfair. Why point gun as foreigners? Why point gun as guns? Why point gun on us? You have to find a Russian fight. Go on live on Instagram. We don't have arms. We don't have arms. We are students. We are students. Gun on us. What the fuck is happening? What? We don't run. We don't have arms. We got nothing. We don't have arms. We have nothing. We are students. 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 What's up? We are students. We are students. You don't understand, but you're not black, so you cannot solve. Dude, they can't shoot us off. Thank you. Thank you. Please don't do this. Don't do this. Они неправильно делают. We don't have arms. We don't have arms. We don't have arms. We don't have arms. We are students. No arms. We are students. We don't have arms. We are students. We are students. We are
Alors, I'm here with Angela. He's the president of Foreign Student Association in Lviv, in Ukraine. And he just managed to get himself down here to Warsaw. This is Nigerian embassy behind my back, although there's nobody here, but we're in good contact with representative of the embassy, and they will come down to give some help as soon as possible. But for the meantime, Mr. Angela will make some comment about, give us some short information about how we get here. Yeah, please.
Crossing is not really easy, but it's possible. So I came through the medical border. I left earlier, so it wasn't as hectic as it is right now.
Louder.
I left earlier, so it wasn't as hectic as it is right now. But we made it through. We started Wednesday night. We got through only Friday. It's cold. It is long wait. It is long walk. But when we made it through, we headed to Warsaw. I got assistance from some of my family friends here, and the Nigerian in diaspora. They have really been up and about trying to assist people that are crossing over. We've been trying to coordinate the rest of us coming over here, and information is circulating. We're just trying to get everybody here as soon as possible, and also to help them make sure that they are not stranded and know how to locate this place here. And then immediately you cross over, if you don't know where to locate, you stay at the border facility where they provide for you. Make sure that you are warm and you get something to eat, charge your gadgets, and then try and get yourself connected to the internet so that you can get information as it is coming across. Try to be in pairs, please, so that if you don't have information, the next person beside you has the information that you need.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we also have Mr. Blaze. This is the president of the Nigerian Association, Nigerian Student Association in Poland. But he's been good coordination with all the people. He's been staying at the embassy since morning, and he's been connecting people and discharging them to the right places. So can you give us some information about the hectic logistics?
Yeah, like you can see,
the problem.
I'm really freezing.
Yeah.
But we thank God that we have good-spirited Nigerians who are helping the situation. We've been sending many batches of students to some private accommodations, and like the embassy said, they are coming to pick up the remaining ones, the ones that are left here, so that at least we can go home. It's really cold out here.
Yeah. I just talked to Mr. Michael, official of the embassy, the chancery of the embassy, and he is saying they have been systematically picking up some people. Now we still have some few guys here, and some are still coming. And can you tell us your name? Everybody is busy collecting. Can you tell us your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Siddiq Wasio.
Siddiq, Mr. Siddiq.
My name is Zaima.
Saima is here, and Bilal. So they are working because it's quite cold. So now they're sitting in the car, and so hopefully we will not freeze before we find somebody coming. But some Nigerians, they have been picking up people and finding accommodation for them. So we are counting that everything will be okay. Thank you very much. Bye.
So we, the blacks in Ukraine, have finally entered Romania, and we are in the train station right now to board a train to the capital to board a flight to Ghana, and then others going to Nigeria, Zimbabwe. So this is where we are right now. These are the Africans. We are all safe. Romania has been so good to us. They've accommodated us, gave us food and everything. We've not spent even $1 in Romania because they've taken care of us, everything. So yes, please say thank you to Romania.
They were just so heartless, like they treated us like animals totally. Like there were no human sympathy in any of them. There was some hoodlums that who comes around in those places that the soldiers sees, the borders. We saw some of them with some weapons, and we tried to make the soldiers understand that we are sending these people weapons, and he said we should go and there's nothing he could do about it. And we're like, we can't risk our life. So they started chasing us away, hitting us with wood. And even, you can see they even hit my leg right here.
That last clip was from the BBC. And let me shout out to Chuck Modiano because Chuck Modiano reposted that clip from the BBC because the BBC had tweeted that clip and deleted it. I guess they did not want the Ukrainian rebellion narrative to be marred by brutality and racism to people who are also trying to flee a escalating war situation. And I want you guys, hold on, I can tell you some of the users, Twitter users that posted those clips. And there are a lot of people posting information, posting videos. TikTok and Twitter are full of them. Follow the hashtag Africans in Ukraine, and you will find a trove of people not only offering resources and support information, but Africans in Eastern Europe right now recounting their horrific tales. And I was very appreciative to see the one sister towards the end talking about that she and her people had made it to Romania and that the Romanian people had been very good to them and they didn't have to spend $1 in Romania. Thank God. Thank you. Shout out to good white folks out here because and I know when we're looking at foreign entanglements, especially here from the United States, which we have not the best perspective of things, and our media is a big culprit of that. Well, that in our educational system. But and I know it's not as black and white or as binary as good, bad, but am I supposed to be sympathetic or empathetic for the Ukrainian people if they're treating my people this way? I'm a humanist at the baseline of my existence, right? So I can find empathy with most people, even outright pieces of shit. I can try to see where they're coming from, even if I disagree vehemently or dislike them in a whole lot of ways. And I understand that the members of the Ukrainian army are probably not representative of the Ukrainian people as a whole. So I'm trying to take all this in mind and keep all this in perspective. But when I see tales of Black people being treated bad, being forced 3 days in some places to not only not be able to cross, but not be given food, not be given blankets, not be given water, Ukrainians, white Ukrainians, prioritized for exit out of the country, prioritized for distribution of necessities. And it's like, what? Are we still on this 19th century shit? Black people ain't people. We don't need water. We don't need food. We don't need to be warm. You see all them Africans out there complaining about the cold? The people was cold out there. I knew they was cold. I could feel the complaints of the cold literally coming through the screen. Am I supposed to be rooting for Ukraine in this situation? You know, you feel what I'm saying? So listen, especially Black folks and especially those who consider yourselves to be comrades and allies of Black people. Like these situations are giving us the full range of the prism. Like there's so many different layers of it. But at the end of the day, it almost cannot be denied that there are at minimum racist elements within the Ukrainian army, as a lot of people allege, outright neo-Nazi and fascist elements of the Ukrainian army. So I know Zelensky's like, you know, Politica Bay. I know all the middle-aged white women is drooling over President Zelensky because he's so hot as he carries that AK-47 through the streets of Kyiv. But I don't know if Zelensky is representative of the whole of Ukraine in I guess the same way that Joe Biden is not representative of the whole of the United States. But fuck that shit, man. If you giving African people a worser, as my grandma would say, a worser way to go for the simple fact that they are just because they are black. Fuck you. Fuck your fuck your freedom. Fuck your rebellion. Nigga, I done switch sides. Nigga, I'm cheering for Putin again. Just kidding. I'm not cheering for Putin. We don't root for empire or burn it down with Cam Brown. But you feel what I'm saying, though, man. If y'all gonna be racist to the Africans, baby, there's only so much compassion and empathy that I can give you, because look at how you're treating your fellow human beings. And the other tales that have been coming out from folks trying to flee Ukraine, who are Africans, who are students, they're saying in some places they were being turned back at the border by the Ukrainian Army, compelling them to go fight. Like, what? I'm sorry, what? What? I must have missed that part. Tuna, can we pop up that tweet from the Ukrainian Twitter account at Ukraine has been tweeting up a storm. And if you follow the at Ukraine Twitter account, it kind of leaves, again, it's not making Ukraine really look the best, because they're like quote tweeting Elon Musk and thanking Elon Musk for his support. Bitch, if the world's worst supervillain is aligned with your cause, that just leaves me to reconsider. Should I be considering myself a supporter of the Ukrainian resistance? I am inclined to think no. So the tweet from at Ukraine quote tweets the Ukrainian foreign minister, and what it says is that Ukraine's foreign minister invites foreign nationals to join the International Legion of Territorial Defense of Ukraine. And within the quote tweet, it is the Ukrainian foreign minister encouraging people from different nationalities to come to Ukraine to pick up arms and fight against Russia. And I believe the tweet said something to the effect of, multinational countries came together before to defeat Hitler. We can defeat Putin. Okie dokie. Hold on. Let me get back to the chat here, because I'm curious. Because I am curious as to what you guys are saying. Okay, Schultze says that the Nazi element is only 2% of the government. So was that the 2% that was sending black people back to go fight in Ukraine? And I'm laughing because you guys know I laugh to keep from crying. I will laugh at the most inappropriate things so I don't boo-hoo cry. So don't take my laughter as callousness, because I think you guys know that is indeed not the case. But if this is the accounting of a lot of African black people trying to exit the country, that they are being stopped, they are being denied provisions to the preference of Ukrainians. Again, what is the white? I don't know. But what I do know is if you follow the hashtag Africans in Ukraine, it will direct you to, again, videos like this, but also people who are posting resources and links. And again, I would hold off on sending money right now, just because y'all know how this goes. Once the conflict breaks out somewhere, even domestically here in the US, the scammers come out at night. Hey, the scammers come out at night. So be reluctant. Maybe not reluctant is not the best word. Be judicious, skeptical. Be discerning. Yes, be discerning in the places in which you decide to send your money. I don't want you to get scammed. And most importantly, if you are trying to send resources, we want to make sure that the resources get to the people that most need it, right? So it's important for us to try to establish which places are reputable for those things. But yeah, I wanted to bring that to y'all's attention, because I don't watch cable news. I don't know what them niggas is talking about. I imagine they talking a whole lot of, we got to stand with the Ukrainian people. We got to stand with the Ukrainian people. Well, I'm not standing with the Ukrainian army. I can assure you that. And I don't even know the Russian word for nigga, but I know they got one.